Raiders Derek Carr. He said he was looking. He got interviewed. He said looking forward to moving to Las Vegas after he got booed in Oakland.
Is he gonna make it to Vegas by the time the draft hits?
Now, he's talking about getting booed in Oakland like it wasn't Raider fans that booed him. Like, there's still going to be Raider fans in Vegas.
That's true. He signed a contract, so I don't think he'll be.
He signed a new one?
He signed a 5-year, $125 million contract. Summer. Yeah, he's still on contract. That was in 2017. 18. He had 3 more years.
What was his actual quote?
He said, I had some good meetings with my coaches, and I'm looking forward to Las Vegas. We need to get more wins, and I think everyone will chill out. I need some fresh air.
Yeah, I need some fresh air from him. I couldn't even watch his games.
Ooh.
He said, it's exciting. I think it's time for some fresh air.
Vegas air?
Yeah, yeah, I think he messed up on that one. Because, like I said, it's the same fans. Raider fans are pissed at you. Raider fans are pissed at you. So we were talking about it before. It's still going to be Raider fans in Vegas because it's just going to be a weekly commute from Southern California and from Northern California to Vegas to watch Raider games. And it's the same fans. So he acting like there's going to be some whole new people in Vegas. No.
I'm a little disappointed in him,
No.
though, because even though I didn't think they were going to, win the Super Bowl, I thought, having had an MVP season in the past, I thought he could be serviceable a little bit better than average this year. And I'm a little bit disappointed because I thought he could do a little bit better.
An MVP season? Or
Yeah, but the year he got hurt, he was MVP.
He was a contender.
He was
Yeah,
in
he was a
conversation.
contender. Yeah, he was definitely in a
Like top
conversation.
3,
Top
4.
3, yeah.
Yeah, and he got hurt, and that was that. So I had big hopes for him, but didn't happen.
So on the season, his age 28 season, 16 starts, 7-9 record, 70% completion percentage. Now, so the last couple of years we've been talking about Derek Carr as not actually being that great. The last 2 seasons, Derek Carr, in 32 starts, has a 70% completion percentage. Now, that's extremely impressive. But, to be fair, his record in those 32 starts is 11-21.
You know what? When some people lose, I don't like to look at the guy and be like, oh, he lost all those games, he sucks, right? But you look at how they lose, like how they're looking. Like, it's obvious sometimes, like, okay, he could play better, but he's not the main problem for them. And I'm looking at Derek Carr, and I'm a little bit confused because I don't really feel like they need to keep him and get pieces around him, if that makes any sense. I feel like they might need to move on from him, perhaps.
Right, I feel you, but that's not what the stats say.
Yeah.
Only because the stats I just mentioned, both of those seasons he's over 4,000 yards, right at 4,050 both seasons. Both of those seasons he's got 19 touchdowns, incredibly consistent both seasons. 19 touchdowns in one, 21 in the other, 10 interceptions in one, 8 in the other. So he's been incredibly consistent over both of those years, averaging 4,000 yards, averaging a 70% completion percentage, averaging 20 touchdowns and 10 picks. So is Derek Carr the problem?
I can't say he's the complete problem. But
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's a complete problem, but I don't think the stats tell the full story on Derek Carr. For the past 2 years, at watching him, I could agree with Joe, and it just seems like he's taken a major back seat in his gameplay since that MVP season that he was on the road to have it. I think this year he definitely had a better year. But I think it's because his team was healthy. You know, he was healthy. I think he had a new coach that he's able to get along with. And I think he took a step in the right direction. I think things weren't supposed to turn out like this for the Raiders. You know, they were supposed to have Antonio Brown.
That's true.
With the numbers he had this season, with his new number one being injured for at least half the season. I mean, Tyrell Williams was injured. He was at least like 5-6 games.
So guess.
You know, and he still had a better season throwing percentage and passing yards than what he did last year. So
I just thought of a stat that would possibly be a differentiator, right? And it's third down conversions.
Okay.
Right? So I looked up third down conversions. Number 1 is Garoppolo. Number 2, Kirk Cousins. 3, Drew Brees. 4, Deshaun Watson. 5 is Derek Carr. Derek Carr converts on third downs 46% of the time, which is 5th in the NFL.
That's very interesting.
So what else do you want a quarterback to do? He's not turning the ball over. He's converting on third downs. He's getting yards.
Well, that was that was this year. Can we look what I mean? This year, I've at least acknowledged that he's taking a step back into the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the last 2 years, you can see that change from the past 3 years when he had that MVP
Shaky.
season.
Right. Now, this stat is not the be-all, end-all. Guess who's the last?
Who?
Tom Brady. For third rounds?
Yeah.
For this year.
Russ Wilson.
Third down
that kind of
completion?
throws that whole stat out the
Yeah.
window, right?
Right. Now, but just imagining what Russell would do on a third down, Russell's extra cautious. So if it's not there,
Don't know,
he's
Pete.
not even gonna he's gonna throw it
He'll live to
incompletion
see
on purpose.
another day.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a mix of an amazing quarterback, but a game manager at the same time. He's not going to
Right.
screw it up.
But you need a quarterback to be a game manager.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
So
you can't just go buck Willie Wild.
right. So we're gonna
Yeah.
throw this stat out as
It's
non-consequential.
interesting. That's an
Yeah.
interesting concept.
With Carr, could it be true that at least until he realizes there's Raiders fans in Vegas, could it be a mental thing where he's gonna feel it's a fresh start until
Or
Maybe.
or a new stadium or something.
if it's a mental thing with him, then it could
But
be.
I don't see what can change because only looking at the stats, I don't see how you can improve the stats that we just read that he had, other than more touchdowns,
Well,
which would require more weapons.
I would
There's-
say he
yeah.
needs a receiver. I mean,
He had one. He's
he
gone.
had one and
He had
gone.
Waller. Waller wasn't a bad.
Oh, he was a
Tight
tight
end.
end.
He wasn't
He
bad.
definitely wasn't a bad
Right.
tight end.
Amani Cooper would be nice.
The thing is, see, there's stats and then there's like passing the eye test.
Yeah.
And when I'm watching his games, I'm not saying he's trash, but it just something's like not there. I don't know. Is it
No, I totally
line
get
bad?
that. It's the it.
I think
Yeah.
those numbers could fool you too. 70%, 4,000 yards. He could just be
Thinking and
making.
dunking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's not aggressive. He doesn't. He has 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, so he's not
Right.
making those.
Here's the other
tough
thing
throws.
that's tricky, and you know about this. It's called game script, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if my team comes out, say the Raiders come out, they look up, they're down 3 scores. You're in the second quarter. Now the other team plays prevent. They don't play as hard. You dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk, and then you can actually get your stats up. You can get yardage and you can get completion percentages higher than normal. So I'm not saying that's the case, but
Right.
it's tricky.
No, but it's definitely
So-
a curious situation.
So, on the MVP season that he had in 2016, he had 6 interceptions. The following 2017, he had 13. 18, he had 10 interceptions, and this season he had 8. So that could be another thing that has caused us to, as the viewers, looking at him playing like, hey, he's not the same guy. Because the next following year, you doubled your interceptions.
But doubling your interceptions to 13,
Yeah.
that's 13 is a great number.
That's half a season for Eli.
That's
Well, coming off the MVP season, he only
yeah,
had
but
6.
still 13
lot.
picks. That's a great.
That's a lot.
If you're throwing less than 1 interception per game, you did well.
Jameis Winston did that in 2
He
weeks.
did that in 2 weeks. James Winston has 16 in 2 games.
Yeah. Listen, James is trying to make it happen. He's trying to make it happen, and which actually this is a perfect segue.